It looked like AdamSilver has found himself in some serious hot water over the management of the WNBA, and is they faking rating?
AdamSilver just got a tough reminder: never steal Caitlin Clark's spotlight. What started as a simple interview spiraled into a full-blown PR disaster, forcing him to backtrack faster than a bad referee call. Now, insiders say he's practically pleading for Caitlin's return after her massive off-season deal shook the entire league. Should the WNBA be apologizing to her, or thanking her? Silver probably thought he was in for an easy week, a few friendly interviews, some talk about growth, maybe toss in a buzzword or two, and call it a day. Instead, he walked right into the biggest controversy the WNBA's faced all year. Honestly, calling it a mess might be too kind, because the moment he mentioned Caitlin Clark, everything started falling apart.
Stepped out and started talking about the crazy nonsense of a civil war that's going on between Iron Man or Iron Woman Kathy Engelbert and Captain America Nafisa Collier.
Let's rewind for a second. AdamSilver sat down with NBC News for what was supposed to be a relaxed chat about leadership and league expansion, the usual polished talk about progress, inclusion, and growth. But somewhere between historic success and positive relationships, he decided to open up about the WNBA's internal problems. That's when he said the quiet part out loud: the league doesn't just have financial challenges, it has relationship problems too. That single line hit harder than a flagrant foul because, in plain English, he basically confirmed what fans have been shouting all season: the WNBA is broken from the inside out. And just like that, social media went into overdrive. Silver probably thought he was just being honest, but honesty in PR is like lighting a match inside a fireworks factory. Players started throwing shade, fans dragged him online, and the internet crowned him the guy who finally admitted the WNBA is a mess. The irony? He wasn't wrong. The league's issues are stacked higher than Caitlin Clark's three-point records. Players are calling out refs every week, executives are dodging interviews, and Kathy Engelbert's somewhere pretending everything's fine. But when Silver mentioned relationship issues, people took it as him throwing Kathy under the bus, which, to be fair, wasn't entirely false. He did start by praising her for historic growth, but then immediately followed it up with, "We still have big relationship issues with players." So which is it, Adam? Historic growth or complete disconnection? You can't boast about a rocket ship rise while your players are threatening a lockout on social media.
Commissioner AdamSilver says Caitlin Clark has set the world on fire. Silver didn't reveal much about their brief conversation, but his admiration for Clark's achievements couldn't have been clearer. Speaking on FanDuel Sports Network, he said Caitlin Clark set the world on fire, not just this community. And it's easy to see why, from dominating college basketball at Iowa, where her famous number 22 jersey was retired, to becoming the first overall pick in the 2024 NBA draft, Clark has been unstoppable.
Before we get to the apology part, it's important to understand why Silver's comments struck such a nerve. Caitlin Clark isn't just another player, she's the reason the WNBA is even dominating headlines right now. Every time she steps on the court, ratings soar. Every time she speaks, social media lights up. And honestly, every time she so much as sneezes, the internet finds a way to turn it into 10 different articles.
Own up and step down. I believe that's what should happen. Kathy need to just walk away. We're going off into the sunset. Well, the bright sunset, I should say, because it ain't gonna be a good goodbye. But I feel like at this point she gonna have to step down. Stephen A. Smith said it last week, and I'm saying it right now.
When AdamSilver gave his big leadership speech and seemed to downplay Caitlin Clark's impact, fans felt like he was biting the very hand that's feeding his league attention, and honestly, they weren't wrong. Behind the scenes, Caitlin had just landed another massive off-season speaking deal rumored to pay nearly $500,000 per event. She's practically printing money without even picking up a basketball. Meanwhile, the league's been scrambling to prove it can stay relevant without her. That's why Silver tried to sound confident, describing the WNBA's growth as a rocket trajectory. But fans weren't buying it, because the numbers didn't match the narrative. Reports claiming that finals ratings had doubled came out the same week, but conveniently, Nielsen had changed how they count viewers, now including bars, airports, and hotel TVs. Sure, the ratings looked better, but only because the math changed. It's like saying you're taller this year because you're wearing heels. Fans saw right through it. They accused the league of cooking the stats to make it seem like Caitlin wasn't the main draw. Then Silver's relationship issues comment made everything worse, making it sound like he was protecting Kathy Engelbert instead of the players. especially the one player who made those ratings possible. Within hours, hashtags exploded. *Silver apologized to Caitlyn, fix the WNBA, and more. Even neutral fans chimed in, asking, how can you brag about growth when your players don't even trust you? And they had a point. Players are tired of the disconnect. Nneka Ogwumike publicly called out leadership. Sophie Cunningham hinted at a possible lockout. Candace Parker joked that Adam Silver texts her more than her own commissioner, and that hit hard. On her podcast, Candace revealed that Adam personally congratulated her on her baby, retirement, and Amazon deal, while Kathy Engelbert stayed silent. Even Sabrina Ionescu admitted she has a better relationship with Adam than with Kathy. That shouldn't even be possible, so by the time Silver gave his growth speech, fans already saw through the PR polish. Then came the viral clip, him saying the league's problems were personal. Translation: everyone behind the scenes hates each other. It felt like watching a corporate family meeting where the parents are smiling, but the kids are throwing food under the table. And just when it couldn't get worse, he brought up Caitlyn again. He tried to sound neutral, but every word made it seem like he was pretending she wasn't single-handedly keeping the league relevant. The internet didn't let that slide. Comments poured in, bro, you should be begging Caitlyn to come back. She is your ratings. Another wrote, Adam Silver talking about growth without mentioning Caitlin Clark is like pretending Taylor Swift didn't sell out her own stadiums. It got ugly fast. And the wild part. Silver knows how bad this looks. He's one of the most polished commissioners in sports. He doesn't usually make rookie PR mistakes. But this one. He fumbled hard. Sources inside the league say he's now in quiet damage control mode, reaching out to Caitlyn's representatives to clear the air. Translation: the apology tour has begun. He reportedly told her his comments were misunderstood and that he values everything she's done for the sport. He even hinted at involving her more in league decisions. Basically, he's doing everything he can to make sure Caitlyn doesn't pull a Tom Brady and walk away to focus on media full-time. Because let's be real, with the kind of money she's making off the court, Caitlin Clark doesn't need the WNBA anymore. Caitlin Clark isn't just successful, she's an empire. She's got sponsorships from Nike, Gatorade, State Farm, and half a dozen other major brands. Her public speaking gigs alone pay more than her entire WNBA season salary. If she wanted to take a year off, she could still make millions without breaking a sweat. And that's exactly what has the league panicking. Because if Caitlyn ever decides to step back, even for a short while, that's game over. Attendance would drop, merch sales would stall, and TV ratings would crater. She's not just a player, she's the WNBA's marketing department, PR machine, and fanbase all rolled into one. So yeah, when people say Adam Silver is apologizing, they're not exaggerating. He's not begging on camera, but behind the scenes, he's absolutely trying to keep her happy. What's wild is that it's supposed to be the other way around. The players usually need the league, not the league needing one player. But that's how powerful Caitlin Clark is right now. She's turned the WNBA into something it's never been before, a league that lives and dies by one name. It's impressive, but also terrifying. Because if your historic growth depends entirely on one player staying loyal, that's not a strategy, it's a gamble. Then came the moment that summed it all up. Silver wrapped up his NBC interview with a big smile, looked into the camera, and said, I'm confident we can fix these issues and keep the league on a rocket trajectory. Bro, that rocket already hit the moon, crashed, and caught fire. Fans instantly called it out. Rocket trajectory? Into chaos, maybe. Because right now, between the ratings controversy, player frustration, and leadership drama, the only thing taking off is bad press. That's why the apology tour is happening quietly, behind closed doors. Silver knows that if Caitlyn even hinted at calling him out publicly, the league's reputation would take another major hit. She wouldn't need to rant, just one sarcastic tweet and the headlines would write themselves. Caitlin Clark calls out WNBA leadership again. And fans are already sensing it. They're calling him desperate, saying he's groveling to the player who accidentally became his boss. Because, let's be honest, right now, Caitlin Clark is the boss, and Adam Silver just realized it too late. After that NBC interview went viral, his PR team must have gone into full emergency mode. 1 minute is talking about growth and relationships, and the next is being roasted online for pretending Caitlyn isn't the reason anyone's even watching. And honestly, fans aren't wrong. The WNBA finally hit mainstream relevance this year, and everyone knows who made that happen. Caitlin Clark didn't just attract fans, she brought an entire new audience. Families, young girls, and even NBA followers who hadn't watched a women's game in years are now tuning in because of her. She turned a niche league into must-see television, so when the man overseeing both the NBA and WNBA talks vaguely about relationship issues instead of thanking the one player keeping his product alive, yeah, it's not going to land well. That's why reports say Silver has been trying to make peace with Caitlin behind the scenes, sending messages through representatives to rebuild trust. Because he knows if she walks away, or even looks like she might, the fallout won't just be a bad headline. It'll be a full-blown PR disaster. And if anyone doubts that, just look at what happened when Caitlin got injured. Viewership dipped overnight. Ticket prices fell. Suddenly, no one was buying the historic growth story anymore. They weren't buying the league, they were buying Caitlin Clark. That's why this apology matters so much. AdamSilver might not admit it publicly, but the WNBA without Caitlin is like Netflix without Stranger Things *. It technically exists, but nobody's really talking about it. What makes this even more intense is that Caitlin hasn't said a single negative word about him. She stayed quiet, composed, and focused on her off-season grind, and that silence? It's powerful. Because silence from someone with her influence isn't peace, it's pressure. If she wanted to, one perfectly timed comment could end Cathy Englebert's career. And Silver knows it. That's why reports say he's trying hard to keep her close, offering her more say in marketing, player relations, and league planning. But let's be honest, Caitlin doesn't need meetings or titles. She already has the kind of influence money can't buy. When she shows up, events sell out. When she speaks, she earns more than half the league in a single night. She's become the walking billboard the WNBA always wanted but never had. And that's exactly what frustrates other players. While Silver's busy smoothing things over with Caitlin, veterans are online asking, "Where's our support?" The divide is clearer than ever. Caitlin's on magazine covers, while others are still fighting for basic travel and pay. That's the problem Silver accidentally admitted. The league isn't united. And until that changes, no polished press release can fix it. Then came the recovery attempt. In a follow-up statement, Silver said, "We're proud of our progress and the incredible talent driving it." Fans instantly replied, "You mean Caitlin Clark, right?" Because everyone knows exactly who he's talking about. He can spin it all he wants, but there's no historic growth without her name at the center of it. Maybe that's the lesson he's finally learning: respect the person keeping your league alive. Because when Caitlin's contract is up, she'll have options: broadcasting, endorsements, ambassadorships. She could walk away tomorrow and never look back. And if she did, the WNBA would go silent overnight. That's why Silver's in full damage control. He's not just trying to protect the league's image, he's trying to protect its survival. While Caitlin's earning six-figure checks for speaking gigs, the WNBA is still begging for network airtime. That contrast says it all. So whether she accepts his apology or not, the message couldn't be clearer. The WNBA needs Caitlin Clark far more than Caitlin Clark needs the WNBA. If Silver really wants to prove he values her, he'll have to do more than say sorry. He'll have to rebuild the entire system that keeps creating this chaos. Because one day, Caitlin might just stop answering his calls. And that's where things stand. AdamSilver scrambling to calm the storm he started, while Caitlin Clark quietly cashes checks and builds her legacy without saying a word. What do you think? Should she accept the apology or walk away and focus on her own brand? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this saga.